So, thanks for tuning in to my official YouTube channel. I'm Reverend MeeLing, Reverend Susan MeeLing, Lady MeeLing, Lady Dori, Belle. I've been known by a few names. So, passing by a gas station, which is kind of interesting, seeing the sign of Circle K. And the aspects of I really don't like having to go from like a really awesome topic to like that. However, in that regard, Circle K and then like the 151 Road Warrior thing and the Fiesta San Antonio thing. Irony. And irony, I'm just now passing a gas station with Warrior, which is just kind of just one of those weird coinky dinks in that regard, because I don't know as far as if the city of San Antonio and or the state of Texas were necessarily as aware in reference to the aspects of the, I mean, I'm sure that like they wound up knowing about the aspects of in regard to the thing that Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kirkendall Jr., had done. And I had said back then, I had hoped that, you know, there would be essentially a day that, you know, he would be charged with treason for that, because it sounded like treason and terrorism to me. It sounded like that. And so I never really thought about if there had been a, what is it called? A task force that was essentially created in either the city of San Antonio and or the state of Texas. And seeing the sign of the Circle K, and you know, it could just be a weird coinky dink when you think about it in regards to the fact that Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kirkendall Jr., and Kirkendall starts with a K. And then the aspects of how he had, among others, had made fun of me for not knowing pop culture references and stuff like that. Now, admittedly, not only that particular situation, but also even in regards to the Excalibur thing and not knowing, as far as Excalibur Renaissance Festival or Fair, the last year it was in Smithville, Bastrop County. I didn't know if that was a thing that was being looked into or whatever in that regard, obviously. Nonetheless, you know, seeing the Circle K aspect and I would guesstimate at some point there have been officials who have researched certain aspects of how certain types of movies and or video games and or, you know, TV, pop culture sort of stuff has to do in regards to various individuals. So like for me, before my head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000 and all of the after effects from the subarachnoid hemorrhage in the frontal lobe of my brain, the coma, headaches, migraines, memory deficits, cognitive disorders, and having gone from college algebra with trigonometry and calculus to second grade math. Before then, I had not been allowed to watch certain TV shows or movies above a specific rating. So I was allowed to watch G-rated movies no matter what. PG movies, the parental guidance ratings, I had to get permission, and realistically I didn't see a PG movie until after I turned 13. And that was before my head injury, during basic training, obviously. And so, I didn't get to watch movies or television shows the way, ironically, the way my biological sister did. And my biological sister is 4 years younger than me. So she actually got to watch that sort of stuff, despite the fact that I wasn't allowed to. She actually got to see PG-13 movies before I was even 13, mind you. And so the irony in that dichotomy, she actually had a later bedtime than I did, being 4 years younger than me. And so, I don't know, I'm sure at some point that's been looked into, including with like music and whatever other aspects of pop culture references. However, I didn't grow up in the most normal way. I don't deny that. I've discussed that in prior official YouTube videos, as well as in person well before, and that includes well before putting it in writing in my books, the first two specifically. And so, I don't know what video games references in that regard has been taken into account, or any of the other pop culture aspects. However, I hadn't seen my first R-rated movie, or PG-18 or whatever it's called, until I was 18. No, in this era, it's probably extremely weird. I did get made fun of for that a lot. Not just, because of Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kirkendall Jr., but well before then, and obviously after then. And so, in seeing that particular gas station, and the irony is, in regards to the gas station and cars and vehicles, even though I had my head injury and all that sort of stuff, I never forgot how to drive at all. That was not a problem for me. The altitude changes, I don't deny that when it comes to my headaches and migraines. However, I never forgot how to drive at all. And so, that's where it's the ironic dichotomy in reference to the Circle K, in a weird coinky dink sort of way, where it's kind of like, I probably should, by technicalities, have forgotten that. However, despite the fact that I went from college algebra with trigonometry and calculus to second grade math, I did not lose that at all. I was able to not only remember how to drive, but remember how to drive both automatic as well as standard, although apparently automatic is now standard. But back in the 1990s and well before, standard actually meant a shifter, where you had a clutch and you shifted gears manually. That's why it's called a manual. However, it was actually fully remembered, including with how to balance the clutch and everything like that without getting... Those who have driven manual transmissions know what I mean, where I would be able to do so without getting that hiccup where, you know, the nose dives down. Irony in regards to scuba diving. Landing at the bottom of the ocean. Nonetheless, I never forgot that. And so it's kind of a weird oddity, because not only did I not forget how to drive, both in reference to automatic as well as manual transmissions, I never forgot my favorite car. For example, like, never forgot the 442. That's a favorite car of mine. Same thing with the 73 Stingray. That's the last year of the 1973 Stingray by Corvette. That was the last year where I was like, oh yeah, with all that chrome and 5 to the floor. Yeah, I know there are some individuals who know I'm talking about that curve on the side of but I've always liked older cars, even before my head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000. I had actually, before my head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000, I was talking with a friend of mine who is in the Navy, and he had was it a Nova or a Cutlass or something? It's a 70s car that he had specifically. It was a kind of a olive drab, flat paint, green, and whatchamacallit, it was a beast. Nonetheless, I remember one day we were talking, and I had said, do you notice how cars kind of look either like boxes or rectangles? Jelly beans, or the new bug, is like a little semicircle. And he looked at me, he's like, really, that's how you're going to describe cars? And in the late 1990s, if you actually look at the standard body style, they pretty much had that aspect. And one of the things that I had said was, the vehicles, they just kind of look like they don't have any character anymore. You know, like, you know, I had pointed out his car, and I'm like, look at how the lights are, how they're sunken in comparison to this. Look at the grill here, look at that. And so, you know, you see that sort of thing, and you just kind of, okay. And I had that discussion multiple times, and so, you know, the old Chevelles from the 1960s, yes, the SS version to be specific. However, my specific favorite car, I was told that I sounded like some female off of a movie, which I don't know, but I'm sure somebody understands in this regard. So my particular favorite car is the 1969 Camaro RS SS 396. I wanted it in 3 different ways. I want but all the interior completely the same. So 1969 Camaro RS SS 396 with a 396 cubic inch engine, dropped from a V6, bumped up to a V8. Change that bitch from a 4-speed to a 6-speed, maybe a 5-speed depending on. And then dual exhaust, chromed out engine, black leather interior, midnight blue exterior with glitter in the paint, 2 white stripes up the front, down the back. Of course in the hard top, because that's the standard for that particular model. Then I want one in a convertible and a T-top. And I got made fun of for wanting it in a T-top because it didn't come in a T-top. I did not care. I still don't care. I want one in a T-top. That's a personal preference. And so it's not like you can't customize cars, and just say. And so I was told I sounded like somebody from a movie, and I was just like, okay, well, whatever. And not being rude, just one of those is what it is. And so, but yeah, the old 442 and then I also like the old A models, like the old, what was it, the late 1800s, maybe early 1900s A models, T models. And then I also, if I could like have it, the Rolls Royce Silver Ghost, that car where you got to customize every single detail of that car. Just, oh yeah, pick out the wood that you want on the interior if you want to add that to the exterior. I have a thing for white wall tires because so I like the 1957 Chevy Belle Air, and you can't have, I mean, you can have that car without white wall tires. It just doesn't look as sharp. It doesn't, with those fins on the side and yes, all that chrome and steel. But that's the irony in that dichotomy of that weird coinky dink in regards to I technically should not remember that, especially with my issues with numbers and the cognitive stuff. Like, you know, I can't count up to 442. I don't have that many fingers and toes, and I'll get lost in the counting if I don't write it out. So I can make fun of myself for that. It is the truth. And I'll still mess it up. Unless I space it so that way I don't mess it up. But yes. And so, it's just that weird dichotomy in reference to the aspects of the Circle K thing in the red and the white, and then the scuba diving flag is red and white, and then, you know, that whole thing. And so just thought it was weird seeing that, because, you know, I mean, I can't be the only person who pays attention to signs. I mean, I sometimes miss the signs, but I still, you know, pay attention where I can. And I just realized that kind of the SS of okay, so simple things for simple minds, and I am quite simple-ish. So anyway, you guys have a good one. Comment and like and share and subscribe to my official YouTube channel. And so, yeah, that's what I gotta say. Have a good one.